Hi there fellow guitarists, welcome to this tutorial. This is the first lesson in a series designed to teach you how to become a boss at reading tab. The thing is, there's a misconception out there that tab really can only tell you a few things or impart a few details about how to play a piece. Mainly, it's just telling you where to put your fingers on the strings. But actually, tab can impart just as much information as a fully written musical score if it's written out properly and detailed. Therefore, this series is designed to teach you how to read tab, not just to a normal level where you know where to put your fingers and play something like that and you can read that. Actually, this series is going to help you with a lot more, like reading articulations, when to slide and not make a sound. Although that's not really a slide, it's a position shift, and sometimes it's notated as a slide. When to do hammer-ons and pull-offs. How to do harmonics. It's also going to teach you which fingers to use. Left hand, like number 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this hand, P, I, M, A, C. Sometimes this is X. And sometimes this is T. It's going to teach you that and a whole lot more, and this is only the first in the series. Make sure you download the free PDF that I've provided for this lesson. Also in this video I've tried something for the first time, which is putting tabs at the bottom that match this lesson perfectly. I hope you have fun with it, and I'm going to be releasing a few more of these as time passes, and I guarantee you by the end of it you'll be able to read tab like a monster. One of the biggest things that people think holds back tabs is the fact that you can't read rhythm with a tab, and that's absolutely not true. Depending on the level of the person making the tabs, you can actually have rhythmic notation that is just as accurate as music notation. The biggest thing that holds back most people when it comes to reading music is actually reading the pitch. You know, you've got 5 little lines called the stave, and you've got dots on there, and that's where people start to lose it. It's just easier to read tab, it's 14 written on a string, and so you know that it's played there, so it's a bit easier. But what you don't get is the rhythm quite often, and that actually, it's nothing to do with tab. It's not the shortfall of tab, it's the shortfall of the person writing the tab. And I'm not hassling anybody. I've used a lot of people's tabs out there that didn't have the rhythmic notation, and I just listened to the song to get it, and that's how most people learn. They listen to the song, then they check the tabs, and then at least they know where to put their fingers and they just match it with the song. That's not always going to work for you, especially if there's something wrong in there, there's no recording of that song, or there's different versions of it, because as you know, there's so many different versions of pieces out there these days, and I think that's why I wanted to do this video for you all today. I wanted to make sure that even if you're not going to read music or learn to read music, you can read tabs to an extremely high level. And I hope that by the end of the series you'll be able to understand rhythmic notation a lot better, and you'll be able to understand every single articulation that can be transferred across to tabs, and it's also in music notation. So you would recognize both. If you're reading a music score, you'd see the similarities. Sliding, slurring, fermatas, loud and soft, crescendos, diminuendos, all these kinds of things. Anyway, I've talked enough. It's time for you to get into it. Have a blast, and let's smash this. This means open first string. This means first fret, second string. This is open third string. This is second fret, fourth string. This is third fret, fifth string. And this is third fret, sixth string. First string open, no fingers required. Second string, first fret, first finger. Third string open, no fingers required. Fourth string, second fret, second finger. Fifth string, third fret, fourth finger. Sixth string, third fret, third finger. First string open, chiquito finger. Second string, first fret, annular finger. Third string open, middle finger. Fourth string, second fret, index finger. 5th string, 3rd fret, thumb, pulja. First string, open, played with the annular finger. First 2 strings, 1st string, open, played with the annular finger. 2nd string, 1st fret, played with the middle finger. First 3 strings, 1st string open, played with the annular. 2nd string, 1st fret, played with middle. 3rd string open, played with index. First 4 strings, 1st string open, played with annular. 2nd string, 1st fret, played with middle. 3rd string open, played with index. 4th string, 2nd fret, played with the thumb. 5 strings, 1st string open, played with the annular finger. 2nd string, 1st fret, played with the middle finger. 3rd string open, played with the index finger. 4th string, 2nd fret, played with the thumb. 5th string, 3rd fret, also played with the thumb. This is the symbol for a hammer-on or ascending slur. It is also the symbol for a pull-off or a descending slur. We're hammering from the open 5th string to the 3rd fret on the 5th string, using the thumb on the right hand and the 3rd finger on the left hand. Open D string, hammering to the 2nd fret on the D string, with the thumb on the right hand and the 2nd finger on the left hand. Open 3rd string, hammering to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, using the index finger on the right hand and the 2nd finger on the left hand. Open 2nd string, hammering to the 1st fret on the 2nd string, using the middle finger on the right hand and the 1st finger on the left hand. Finishing with a C major chord. The symbol for a pull-off or descending slur, from the 1st fret on the B string to the open B string, using the annular finger on the right hand and the 1st finger on the left hand. Pull off from the 2nd fret on the G string to the open G string, using the middle finger on the right hand and the 2nd finger on the left hand. I'll leave the next 3 bars for you to work out. These 2 symbols combined mean an audible slide or an arrastre. In this case, it's on the G string, sliding from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, playing in the right hand with the index finger and the left hand 1st finger. This is the 2nd finger in the left hand and the middle finger in the right hand, sliding from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the G string. Then we're going to move across to some descending slides, descending arrastre, from the 14th fret to the 12th fret on the G string, playing with the index finger in the right hand and sliding with the 4th finger on the left hand. Then we're sliding with the 3rd finger on the left hand and playing with the middle finger on the right hand, sliding from the 10th fret to the 9th fret on the G string. I will leave the last 2 bars for you to figure out on your own. This symbol is a silent slide or a position shift from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the G string, played with the index finger on the right hand and shifting with the 1st finger on the left hand. Once we arrive at the 4th fret, we pick again with the middle finger on the left hand. The next slide begins again with the 2nd finger on the left hand, played with the index finger on the right hand and shifting position from the 5th fret to the 7th fret on the G string, and the note on the 7th fret is played with the middle finger on the right hand. I'll leave the next 3 bars for you to work through on your own. This symbol is a brush stroke, and you can use any finger on the right hand to do this. It's travelling from the 5th string, 3rd fret, through to the open 1st string, and you're using the 3rd finger, 2nd finger and 1st finger on the left hand to play the notes. This is a reverse brush stroke, which means you're moving from the thin strings towards the thick strings. In this particular instance, we'll be travelling from the open 1st string right through to the 3rd fret on the A string. You can use any finger on the right hand. The left hand fingers are 3, 2, 1. This symbol is an arpeggio symbol. In this case it's ascending, moving from the 3rd fret on the 5th string through to the 1st string open. We're using the 3rd, 2nd and 1st fingers on the left hand. This type of arpeggio is typically played with a combination of thumb, index, middle and annular right hand fingers. This is the symbol for a descending arpeggio, moving from the thin strings towards the thick strings. It's differentiated from the ascending arpeggio by the downward pointing arrowhead, and in the left hand we're using the 3rd, 2nd and 1st fingers. This is the symbol for la square, which is executed using any number of combinations of brush strokes in the right hand, travelling from the 3rd fret on the 5th string through to the open 1st string, using the 3rd, 2nd and 1st fingers of the left hand. B is the symbol for a bar, using the 1st finger in the left hand. In this case it's a half bar at the 1st fret of the first 2 strings, and we're going to be using the annular and middle fingers of the right hand to pick those 2 notes. Middle is playing the B string, annular is playing the 1st string. In the next section we have a half bar at the 2nd fret, 3 strings, and it's a brush stroke executed with the index finger in the right hand. Although in this example we're only barring 4 strings, it is still notated as a full bar at the 3rd fret, and we have a descending arpeggio in the right hand. Moving on to a full bar at the 4th fret, covering 5 strings, and this is a standard ascending arpeggio in the right hand. In this example there's a bar at the 5th fret, and the dotted line represents how many beats that bar is held for. Played as an ascending arpeggio at the 5th fret. Then we have a legato phrase, a hammer-on from 7th to 8th fret, and a slide from the 8th to the 7th fret, all on the 1st string, played with the index finger on the right hand. In the left hand we have the 3rd finger fingering the 7th fret, the 4th finger fingering the 8th fret, and then sliding to the 7th fret. This bar is still being held from the previous bar, with the sole addition of 2 new notes played with the 3rd and 4th fingers in the left hand, which is 7th fret on the A string and 7th fret on the D string. Then we move to a half bar at the 5th fret, and we have the addition of 1 new note, which is the 7th fret on the D string, using the 3rd finger on the left hand. Rounding off the exercise is a full bar on the 5th fret, 2 notes on the 7th frets of the A and D strings.